Cincinnati theater veterans take audiences on an enlightening journey into their lives. And in the process, they might just shed some light on yours.
Lexapro, Wellbutrin, lithium capsules, Tegretol, Seroquel, Risperdal, Paxil, Remeron, Cymbalta, and Dexedrine. These are a few of my favorite things. Very good.
When we first started writing this show, our main mission was to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health issues because nobody talked about it. We wanted to get people talking. And even though it was difficult at first, we decided, well, if we want other people to talk about it, we have to be willing to talk about it.
We really felt things could have moved more progressively and better in our lives had we been able to talk about it. Come out and talk to other people about it and not had people go, I knew she was crazy, you know? So we thought, well, we should come out and tell our stories.
My mom falls into the category of self-medication. She always said, I don't have a drinking problem. I never drink before the cocktail hour. No matter. It was a large glass filled with pure vodka. She was feisty. She rode horses and motorcycles, and she was very funny. And when she drank, her personality grew exponentially. It was already pretty big. But she could go from light to dark in a really short period of time. When I look back over my mom's entire lifetime through the lens of my own bipolar, I really believe she was self-medicating her bipolar with alcohol. Your family might have a history of mental illness, but if you mistake the addiction for the whole story, you might never know.
That's right, because one of the things that can determine whether you are predisposed to developing a mental illness is if you have a family history of it. Well, insanity runs in my family. It practically gallops. Yeah. Many, many years ago, my father was first diagnosed with severe depression. Now, looking back on it with what I know now, I'm positive that his diagnosis should have been bipolar disorder, because he had huge mood swings, huge highs, high highs, very low lows, and he drank a lot, like Kathy's mother, to kind of hide those symptoms. The first time that my dad was hospitalized for depression, my mother reached out to his family to see if any of them had any problems, and come to find out that all three of my dad's brothers had been hospitalized for depression and or anxiety at one time or another. All three. But nobody knew it because nobody talked about it. As a matter of fact, my grandmother, the queen of denial, went so far as to say, oh no, we've never had any problems like that in this family. Ooh, stigma, right? Now, my mother was never diagnosed with anything other than codependency, which was my diagnosis for her. But she too came from a family in which no one talked about their problems. Don't show the world your true face. It's dangerous to let them really see. It's better to be pretty and composed, in control. So what's the legacy? Am I doomed to pass this on to my family? Making them feel bitter and alone like me. Damage done, damage done. Damage done, damage done.
It's not often that you see a show that is this honest In theater, the most important thing you can be is honest. You have to make me believe that that story's real. And that's what they do with this show. And I absolutely blew me away. I walked out of there so impressed by the bravery and the honesty. You know, they're putting their own hearts and souls and their experiences on the line so that others know that they're in this together.
I, like 1 in 3 women on this planet, am a survivor of sexual violence. Now, survivors of sexual violence very often develop PTSD, but very few ever know that because of how dismissed and unfortunately blamed the victim usually is. Now, the violence, of course, was traumatizing, but what really altered my life forever was the 9-month-long investigation that followed, during which I was interrogated, bullied, and blamed at every turn. Daily, for 9 months, I got asked by multiple men, "What were you wearing? Were you drinking? Are you sure you weren't flirting with him?" Or, my personal favorite, this is an actual quote, "A group of guys walked past you while you were walking with him down the street and they all said you looked willing. Why did they say that if you were truly in distress as you claim?" It is a feeling of absolute vulnerability with these stories, but I don't want the audience thinking that, I could never do that and put up a barrier between us and them. It's not about bravery or strength or anything. It's about choices, just choosing to believe that no matter how uncomfortable it is so worth the healing that comes after and the conversation that can flow after.
I hope they take home the idea that our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones are struggling. We all know somebody who has mental health issues, and we shouldn't be afraid to ask them directly and honestly about how they're feeling.
We hope our audiences take away the fact that here are 3 people standing up in front of you who don't know you and are telling their stories, and it's okay. We hope that people will take away the fact that there's no need for stigma. Mental illness should be treated like any other illness. And if people understand that, they're going to be a lot more compassionate.
And we'll be free. Come out of the closet about mental health.
In any other way you feel like it. In any other way. Okay. Stop the stigma!